Good evening, everybody. Wow, what weather. I wasn't expecting this. Let me just show you the current METAR that I have got for Barcelona. There is no thunderstorm in sight, so God knows what Microsoft Flight Simulator is giving us. Either way, the runway looks very wet wherever we are, so I'm guessing we're not doing a toga takeoff. Alright, so there's the airfield ATIS, well, METAR to be precise. We're not on VATSIM tonight, we're not on any Microsoft servers. We're just going to do a short flight this evening, or a short couple of flights if we can get there. We might get back as well, depending on the weather. Can you imagine coming back to land in this? That would be interesting. But yeah, I looked up the METAR for the flight, thought that's fine, we'll use real live weather, loaded the sim in, and boy, that is very different. So there we go. Oh well, let's see what we can get done. Let me turn the chat off and let's get into our flight deck. Surely the weather has to be better when we get to Palma, doesn't it? Even if it isn't, we're going to clear the weather so we can have a good look around, because I'm very, very excited to see one of my favourite destinations, even before this new scenery upgrade. Yeah, can't wait to see what it's like when we get there. Hopefully not like this. KC, we're not even started yet. Thank you very much for the donation. I promise I will do my best to get us back on the ground safely. The idea is to go from Barcelona over to Palma and then back again. It's only a 30-minute flight either way. In fact, they're that close that I'm probably going to do some of the approach briefing here on the ground, because we won't have too much time in the cruise. Let me grab you guys the operational flight plan that I've got set up for us. Leonard, good evening. How are you? Leonard, I meant to ask you, are you on the Discord server, mate? If so, I need to add you to the VIP chat after the other day. Here is the operational flight plan. Let me pop into the flight deck then and see what's happening. Patrick, you checked in. Good lad, good lad. Oh, how wet. Okay, so HD is here. We're obviously going to try and adhere to as many real-world procedures as we can, but ultimately what I want to get done is test the new scenery when we get there. So I'm travelling without a helmet tonight, HD. Ground services. Let me get my power supply.
Barcelona ground,
Moist. What a word. Magnus, good evening. I keep meaning to ask you as well when you're here. Are you in our Discord server? Please do join and make yourself known to me when you are there, and I'll get you in the VIP server. And we'll. Oh, I don't want you on. Don't want you on battery. Get in the VIP server, and we're going to come and visit you, aren't we? Navigation lights on. 5,000 feet manually down to Magaluf. It's not a very high cruising altitude anyway. What are we at? 13,000 feet. I bet that's only so we can break 250 knots. We do have passengers, so we're going to get those boarded in a second. Do you want me to put the mouse cursor on? I can do. I normally only leave that on for tutorials, but bear with me a second and I will pop that on for you. Where have you gone? There you are. So hopefully now you can see what it is I'm clicking away at. Oh, jetway, please. Here he comes. Crash the desktop. Oh, wow, there's a fateful username. It is a late stream, yeah. I've been homeschooling all day. Well, not me personally, but for my 6-year-old, and oh wow, I need a break. My hat goes off to teachers, it really does. Though I do think there is, I do think there is safety in numbers. When you've got a full class group to sort out, they work better together. Oh, quick engine fire test. And we'll do the APU test as well. Okay, APU coming on. Let's get those passengers loaded. Starting the flight. Thought we'd do Iberia Express instead of Easyjet just for this special one this evening.
Cabin crew, we're ready to start boarding the aircraft now, so you can go ahead, open the doors. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so what did I say the the alleged ATIS was? Where's that gone? 1010. We are going to check this because the meta that I've got does not match one bit what we are seeing in the simulator. So we will check and see what's happening. Barrel reference is now set. Get the flight directors on. Altimeter 1010. And initial climb. Oh, HD. Is that a joke or is that real? I'm sure I've heard that before. Dum dum dum. Ba-dum bum. Initial climb out is... What's the initial climb? Is it 6,000? Yep, 6,000 feet. Initial climb out of Barcelona. Let's turn these up a little bit. So obviously we're not on live time either. It really would be rubbish. Eastbirds Lee, good evening. Thank you for joining. FCU is now all set. Primary flight displays. Ecam alignment in 5 minutes. Okay, let's come down to the flight management guidance system and let's have a look at the data that we have got. Aircraft status. All looks good there, so I'm going to load in now my SimBrief flight plan. See how that looks. Just primarily lost, we'll clear that. There we go, estimated time route 31 minutes. HD, I think, have I given you the flight plan? 7 left, I think, just for quickness. Because we're not parked a million miles away from that. Can't remember if I did give you the flight plan or not. So Nick, even VATSIM isn't showing that. Fair enough. Yeah, 07 left for the takeoff. Passengers, performance, weight and balance, block fuel, well actually trip fuel and block fuel. Let's just check these. It's not going to be very much, is it? 3346, 3346. I'm still using a fuel factor of -20 as well. So should get us there nice and safe. Payload 16952, 16952, that all matches. 163 passengers wanting to depart this horrible thunderstorm. Zero fuel weight is spot on as well at 58 tons. So that looks good. Watching telly with the wife, Lee. Hope it's something good. Speak to you soon. Glad you're not going to hold me to that, HD. We just want to get in the air and have a look at our new scenery when we get there. HD, actually, yes, it is real world weather, allegedly. I'm now going to check this in a moment. So if I now just come back and we'll load this in a moment. Init A, let's just get this set up. So there we go. Cost index of 21, flight level 130. That's good enough. Let me go back to the AOC menu and see what weather Microsoft Flight Simulator is giving us. Weather request. Send. See what happens. SLC is certainly bugged, yes. Normally it works a lot better, to be honest, when I've got a jetway. Okay, flight sim. What are you showing me? Oh Jesus, it's actually showing me the correct METAR as well. What's going on? I can hear thunder in my ears. And to be fair, if that's the correct wind as well, 29005, we'd surely be using the other runway. Oh well, 5 knot tailwind, we'll take off, we'll be fine with that. Alright, it is what it is. So let's load this flight plan in. So departing level, as I say, via runway 07 left, and it's the ladder to Tango departure. Ladder to Tango. Insert that. Apocalypse maybe. Check the settings. Few cumulonimbus clouds at 3000. Maybe digital flight deck, maybe that's what it is. And our arrival. Now this looks a lot more accurate. So this is going to be ILS 24 right. 24 right. I thought they usually use 24 left for arrivals. But never mind, we'll go with the Simbury flight plan. 24 right. And that is the Tulsa to Papa arrival. Tulsa to Papa. And that's via Papa Oscar Sierra. Insert that. If I see the 12 horsemen, don't worry HD, the stream will be cut very short. I'm sticking with the HD for now, just for this. Okay, distance 152. Distance on Simreef is 153. That's probably the closest I've ever got. Okay, just 1 nautical mile difference. Lovely. Okay, we'll check that as well and see what that looks like in a moment on the see what it looks like in a moment on the navigation plan once the ideas have aligned. Let me just have a look here. I'm going to put in the POS VOR for our approach in there as well. 95 miles away. There we go. Joshua Vibes, hello everyone, thanks for joining. Okay, so that's in there as well, and I'm going to just check we've got our RadNav set up for the arrivals. Because the flight is so short, we need to double check. We've got 109.9 on our RadNav page for the arrival. 109.9, that is there. Beautiful. Okay, and we can also pop in the Saint Jean VR as well, which is Juliet. Where's that gone? Do you know, I kind of wish this was a QWERTY keyboard at times. Juliet Oscar Alpha. Pop that in as well. There we go. Alright, so with that, Yorkshire Port's just had a look on the lightning maps. There is no sign of a storm in the Balearics. Oh well, that bodes well for us when we get to Palma. Interestingly enough, what's the weather doing at Palma? Anybody? Because I know what it should be doing, but flight sims telling me something very, very different. Init B page then, let's have a quick look at this. And we'll welcome the passengers on board as well whilst we do that. Are they sat down? No, they're still getting boarded. Zero fuel weight was 58. 58 point, oh, not 8, try again. 58.0. And zero fuel weight 30. Tell me the bot fuel we'll need is 3, and we're taking 3.3. Beautiful. Actually, maybe 3.2 now, I think, by the time that the APU's been running. Yeah, 3.2. Okay, and we can confirm that block. And the trip wind is a tailwind of 12. Visibility is good then, digital flight deck, isn't it? Allegedly. Doesn't look that good here. Alright, and our takeoff performance page. Well, given the weather that's thundering around outside and how wet it is, we'll be doing a toga takeoff. 6,000 feet, I believe, is the transition altitude. Flaps 1. Check our thrust reduction, and what did I say? 07 left. Elevation is 8 feet. Is that right? So thrust reduction should be... See, that's actually got that 1500 feet above. Let me just go into my book, because this is something we were checking the other day. Options. Let's have a look. Can I have a look at the thrust reduction altitude? It is set to 1000 feet. Oh, actually, no, that's the acceleration altitude. The thrust reduction altitude is set to 1500 feet, and I can't change that. Oh, there we go, HD. That's why, then, if we were wondering why that's happening. So technically, we could change that. We can change that in the performance page if we wanted to go to 1009. And same there, 1009. There we go. We can't change the engine out acceleration. I think that is fixed. Let's calculate these V speeds then. 133, 129, and 128. That's right, Magnus, we are going to be arriving on runway 24, runway 24 right, and I thought something was a bit strange when I got the SimBrief flight plan through and it told me I was departing here on 27 left, so they're totally opposite, and I presume the winds weren't going to change too much between the two. They're not that far away. Obviously Palma is an island, so anything can happen, but even so. Alright, so on our departure briefing, weather, Christ knows. It is not doing what I expect it to be doing. It's not even showing what the simulator's telling me it should be showing, so God knows what's happening there. On departure, we need to reach 3,000 feet by the Dilm waypoint, so that's more or less straight after departure, 3 miles away. After that, it's a right-hand turn. Minimum safe altitude is 6,500 feet to the north of the field, 3,300 feet to the south of the field. If anything happens, oh, God knows if anything happens, we will attempt to land back at El Prat, or Barcelona. Nice long runways anyways, and according to the METAR, the visibility is great, so no worries there. So that's the weather. The aircraft, just for your information, I am now testing out again, just for this. I thought we'll do a double test. We're actually going to test the custom fly-by-wire experimental version. So we'll see what happens with that, see what that's like to control. I have done a video on that and I really liked it, but I've not actually done any long flights in it. Not that this is a long flight. Not too worried about no times for this flight, and threats. The threat is the simulator itself not giving me the correct weather. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Alright, so we'd get our ATC departure clearance, and if we were on VATSIM, let's check and see what this map looks like then, shall we? Turn those constraints on just there and see what this looks like on the arrival. So very short, and then come back and round in. That looks to be programmed and coded in beautifully, so don't need to worry about that. Okay, so we get our pushback clearance. Dark Fury, thank you very much, sir, for your kind donation. If you are on our Discord server, then please make yourself known to me. I can add you to the VIP room, and if not, do join. It's good fun on there, great community. And any help you have, then happy to give that as well. HD, have you been at the wine? Or is it the gin? Okay, so we'll get our pushback clearance, which we've now got. Let's tell the passengers that our prep's complete and we're about to push
we're
back.
just about set up here, so we're happy to get those doors once everyone's on board. Thank you.
Okay, great, we're almost done. We'll let you know as soon as everyone's on board. It shouldn't take much longer.
Oh, we've still got 8 passengers remaining. Come on, self-loading cargo, get yourselves on. I've got the rotating beacon light on at the moment. As well, we have got real live AI traffic on, just to add a little bit of immersion for this. Wow, the inside of the plane is now getting soaked. You've left the door open, the jetway's not there, so the last remaining 5 passengers are going to have to jump. 4 passengers remaining. Come on, guys. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to bring that jetway in, because otherwise self-loading cargo is going to fight with the door in a minute. Regardless of what the Metar's doing, I love the weather effects. I think they look amazing. So APU is standing by. Let's disconnect the ground power unit. Let's get rid of that jetway now. Sure, mate, you're not banned from Discord. Who's told you that? I've not banned anyone from Discord. Here we go.
Hi Captain, all passengers are on board and doors have been...
Paul, good evening. The weather looks lovely. Don't lie.
Gentlemen, hello from Flight Deck. My name is Gavin and I'm your captain today, and I'd like to welcome you on board this Easyjetsimpilot.
We'll make up a transponder code, shall we? 666 seems good.
The guys on the ground have just popped the last luggage away, so if you can assist the captain, get yourself sat down.
Okay, before start, check this. Cockpit preparation is completed. Signs are on and auto. The adheres are aligned. Fuel quantity is set and balanced. Flight management guidance system is all set. The altimeter 1010 is set and cross-checked. Windows and doors are now confirmed closed. Rotating beacon light is on. Mobile phone off. Parking brake is on. Let's start pushing back. Paul, it could be the UK, couldn't it, with the weather that we've had recently? Sam, you're at LEPA, are you? Is it bone dry? Fantastic. That's what we want to hear.
Cabin crew, we're about ready to push back, so if you can get out of the door and cross-check, thank you.
777, good evening. Thank you for joining. Okay, let's... parking brakes are released. Magnus, mate, you're too kind. Thank you very much for the donation. And, of course, the current LEPA Meta. I hope that is real. I hope that is what Flight Sim is going to give us, because, let's face it, it's dropped the ball here, hasn't it? Do you not normally find, though, normally when Flight Sim gets it wrong, it usually gets it wrong by delivering clear skies. It doesn't deliver storms. Maybe this is just set to Northern England weather at the moment. This is what we've had for the past 2 days. Okay, so starting engine 1. I want to lock that flight deck door as well. That should have been locked. We don't want to listen to the passengers screaming on departure, do we?
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the crew I ask that you please direct your attention to the monitors as we review the emergency procedures. There are 6 emergency exits on the aircraft. Take a minute to locate the one closest to you and note that it may be behind you. Count the number of rows to the exit. Should the cabin experience pressure loss, stay calm and listen for instructions from the cabin crew. Oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose like this, and pull the strap to tighten it. If you are traveling with children, make sure you put your own mask on first before helping others. In the unlikely event of an emergency landing and evacuation, leave your carry-on luggage and items behind. Life rafts are located below your seats and emergency lighting.
This pushback tug appears to be doing a cracking job this time.
We ask that you make sure
Right
that
on the
your
line.
carry-on luggage is stowed away safely during the flight. While we wait for takeoff, please take a moment to review the safety procedures on the card in the pocket in front of you. Thank you for your attention and we hope you enjoy the flight.
Okay, let's get in there and start engine 2. Might need a little bit of lighting, given how dark it is. There we go. That wasn't you, was it, HD? I know how you like to speak from experience. I'm guessing that was not you. So how did they get them around? That's the real question we all want to know now. Is he still there? So engine 2 starting. Patrick, yeah, the pushback add-on is simply called Pushback Helper, available on flightsim.to. Nick, yes, that was a whiz livery over there. Hey Patrick, I bet that's the music from self-loading cargo that you can hear. So the tug disappeared back in. Engine number 2 is now stabilized. Okay, so let's get this set up. And we'll get those ISOs on, turn the APU off. After start checklist, anti-ice on, ECAM status checked, pitch trim is 0, and our pitch trim, rudder trim, sorry, is 0. Our pitch trim will be down to there we go. Do we need to turn off the anti-skid while pushing back? No, it doesn't. Can leave that on. Okay, so the pushback is clearer. We've got our taxi clearance. Taxi light on. Parking brake off. And let's do a couple of other things down whilst we're here, starting with the flight control check. Full left, full right, full up, full down. Just watching how these work as well. A lot steadier because we're on the custom fly-by-wire model. So we'll see what that's what's that like. Stuart, yeah, we're going to have a look at the brand new Palmas, so stick with us and you'll see what it's like when we get there. Weather radar and wind shear, let's turn those on. That's going to be a horrible sight, isn't it? Transponder is on auto. Cabin crew, let's make sure everything's set for them. And with that, flaps 1, ground spoilers, TO config. Oh, hello. Which one's that? Slats not in the takeoff config. Were they still extending? Let's have a look. Right, according now to the ECAM, slats are extended. Let's go with TO config again. They were still extending just before I pressed the TO button. Okay, fair enough. Magnus, mate, thank you very much once again. And I think I've mentioned, please do get yourself in the Discord server and make yourself known to me. Alright, let's taxi away. Good job it's not a ruler flight, hey, HT. Okay, so quickly looking at the charts, we're down here, down to the left and then to the right. That's the beauty of a simulator, Paul. Beauty of the simulator. We're good anyway, aren't we? We can take off in this, no problem. Just be aware of the slight tailwind on departure, thanks to a mess up by the on the OFP, but never mind. As we are using live traffic, has anybody got something like flight radar on? Am I about to take off into traffic? I would imagine so. So 777, this is not just the latest mod, this is also the custom fly-by-wire build, so, or the experimental version. HD wind shear actions. What are we referring to there? The fact that we may have the tailwind with departure. It certainly doesn't steer as well. Mind you, that could be the rain. We spoke about this when we landed at East Midlands in some horrible weather the other night, didn't we? Sam C, no you won't. Just for this, we're not on any server. So we'll just taxi to the end here, and then just grabbing the charts for this, make sure I know where I'm going. I don't want to taxi past the end of the runway. Looks like Storm Christoph has hit Barcelona. It's something like that, isn't it? I would have thought they'd have had it a couple of days before. It's been further south. No aircraft anywhere near on the flight radar, Nick. Fair enough. We'll not worry too much about that then. Okay, so the before takeoff checklist to the line. Flight controls checked. Departure briefing. Quickly recap. It's straight out departure up to 3,000 feet, followed by a right turn. Minimum safe altitude 6,500 to the north, 3,300 to the south. No performance changes as we are taking off via with toga power. Where are we? Oh, that's Zulu 8, is it? That's fine. That's where I want to go. And then somewhere over there's a runway. Flaps config 1 and FMA takeoff data V speeds blue 128, magenta 133, parking brake max and blue climb nav. Packs will be off for departure, anti-ice is on for departure. Stop climb, initial climb is 6,000 feet. Cheers HD, don't change the config until we're out of the shear. That's great. And they're actually using runway 25, are they? Well, that could be interesting if anything's actually coming in. Okie dokie, so before takeoff checklist, below the line. Brake temperature's fine, we've got no brake fans yet. Takeoff clearance, yeah, we've got that. Approach path is probably not clear, but never mind. Strobe lights coming on, runway turn-off lights, landing lights, and takeoff lights coming on as well. Engine mode selector as required is norm, and we can turn on the TCAS, T-A-R-A. Set traffic to all, see if we actually get anything this time. Transponder is on, etc., and we can make sure that's on. Anti-ice on, packs 1 and 2 going off. Then let's line up toga takeoff. Clearwell, you're also landing here at Barcelona, are you? I bet you're landing on the right runway. HD, did I miss the transponder? No, you got me worried now. Oh no, it's on. It's on. Oh good. Okay, cabin secured for takeoff. Engine mode selector is norm. TCAS DARA packs off. Anti-ice on. Let's go. Nice short flight. Cruise altitude 130. Wonder how high these clouds go. That'd be interesting. But God, it looks good, doesn't it? I know this isn't the real weather, but God, it looks good. Sea skimming level. You could parachute out, couldn't you? Let's turn those off. Just in case we get a frame rates decrease when we do get to our new scenery at Palma. Alright guys, so this is new custom fly-by-wire as well. The experimental version. Let's see what happens. Starting the chrono. And setting 50% N1. Which is really hard to do with my thrust levers. That's fine. Toga power. Mantoga, SRS, and runway. $80 knots. 100 knots. V1 and rotate.
Airbus 320, you were not cleared to take off.
Oh, ignore the ATC. It's looking good. Thrust climb. Lowering that nose to accelerate away. Ignoring the flight director, who would have us almost level at this point. That's a 40 knot tailwind behind us. Let's get those packs back on. And then it will be flaps 0 in a moment. So flaps 0 and ground spoilers disarmed. And we'll make that right hand turn in a moment. Flight director's actually not looking too bad. However, it does seem at this point as though the autopilot has skipped the fact that can you guys hear the passengers screaming? Has missed the fact that we just passed one of the waypoints. Oh, now I think it's caught up. Didn't want us to make the turn. We can carry on past 6,000 feet as with no ATC on board, so let's go standard pressure. Set 130 on the FCU and engage our autopilot. Why is that commanding a descent? It shouldn't be. There we go. We've double clicked that again and it's picked it up that time. The passengers were screaming then at a bank of about 33 degrees, which is the normal bank angle for the A320, so yeah. So the aircraft there just waiting to get up to 250 knots before beginning that climb again. Yeah, sorry, I did see that HD Alt Star. So then we then, as you said, re-engaged it. What horrible weather! I'm just going to turn that down a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may now use your electronic devices. Rechargeable battery packs are available for your smartphones and tablets at an additional supercut or super sticker cost. Please ask your cabin crew for more information.
HD, is it 30 degrees normal? Why did I think it was 33? Have I got an old manual? It is 33 and 67, isn't it? With continuous input? You got me worried now. Okay, let's get those landing lights off. They're not going to be off for very long, to be fair, are they? Oh, and we are out the bad weather, look at that. Soon to go back in it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached our cruising altitude in the shortest flight ever. I am looking forward to this though. We will do a proper EasyJet flight into and out of Palma as well at some point. Nick, that's right. We'll sell anything. So reaching our very low cruising altitude. Daniel, yes mate, I am aware of that, but we're not on VATSIM, we're not on anything, to be honest with you. So we're just wanting to basically to take a look at the new scenery. So we're not doing this as a proper flight. If we were, I'd have lost my license by now. I'm looking forward to seeing how it handles the landing though when I knock the autopilot off, and this custom fly-by-wire model that they've built. So that'll be quite neat. We'll leave the anti-ice on just because we're going to be going back down in a moment. Nick, yeah, it is a bit dark, isn't it? Let's turn that back up. So we're at our cruising altitude now, so to speak. It's a bit of a dog-legged path, isn't it? So that's a very dog-legged path. Should we just go direct to POS? We could do, couldn't we? HD, you and Nick are reading from the same hymn sheet. Amsterdam, Amsterdam, Autoland. Sadly, new. It doesn't work. Okay, let's enter our destination data, which again we should probably have done on the ground because it's too short to be faffing around like this, isn't it? Do a quick weather request, see what's happening there. Oh, HD, you read my mind this time. I just said we'll go direct to POS. I'm just going to wait actually till I've got this weather details. I'll pop those in, then we'll go direct. So let's see if this is correct when we get there. 230 at 6 and 15 degrees 1014. Good evening, Ronald. Thanks for joining us. Right, now we've got that. Let's go direct to POS. That should take us straight there. That's fine. Minimum safe altitude at the arrival is 5,500 feet. We have terrain to the north. Platform altitude is 3,000 feet. $7,000 feet by Polensa. So that's fine. Let me just get this information entered in. So, QNH 1014. Temperature 15. Digital flight deck, I think, unless you tell it otherwise, it should clear the old route automatically for you, unless you select a beam. Is that right, HT? Please correct me again if I'm wrong. 230 at 6. And the transition altitude is... oh, go on. What is it? 6,000 feet. Minimum descent 224. Still got lightning knocking around. Right, if anyone needs the toilet, go now, quickly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned
Cloud chest, mate, I have seen that. And do you know, I've got a problem with my phone at the moment, and that is the backlight seems to have broke. I can't actually turn the thing on, or I can, but I can't see what I'm touching.
Thank you.
I need to get a new phone. Ihan, that's correct. The MDA is on the approach tart. So we're a category C aircraft. Decision altitude, minimum descent altitude, sorry for this, is 224. And the runway threshold is 8 feet above sea level. I certainly will, Cloud Chaser. Thanks for all your help there. Let's give that de-icing a rest, shall we? Victor, are you referring to these switches down here? So, attitude, heading, air data, ecam, etc. Basically, if you get a failure with one of them, say that the first officer's information is incorrect, but the captain's is, then you can switch the first officer's screens over to read off the captain's computers. I don't think it's ever going to be used in the sim unless it becomes ultra realistic. That could happen. Could happen. So hey guys, whilst we're in this very, very short cruise, why not hit the like button on the stream? Let's see how high we can get that. We're at 33, I think, at the moment, something like that. Go on, see how high you can get it. Aviator Dan, good evening. Tank crossfeed is now working. Spoke about that the other day. That no longer flickers. She's more realistic. What's our estimated fuel when we get there? 2.3. No paperwork. Woohoo! Daniel, don't know if the parking system at LEPA works. I have no idea, Daniel. Guess we'll find out. Lewis, can I do a tutorial on how to install liveries for the A320neo? I tell you what, Lewis, get yourselves on our Discord. We will have you flying liveries within about 5 minutes. I promise you, it's straightforward and dead easy. It's basically dropping them into the community folder. To be honest, I think the most difficult thing now about inserting any mods of any sort into Flight Sim 2020 is locating your community folder. Once you've found that, the world is your oyster. It is so much easier than having to install program after program after program. I absolutely love the way they've done it. Made it very accessible to mods. So when we're about 5 minutes away from POS, we'll go down. So Lewis, that sounds strange. I don't know if it's that. I don't know if there's more than one community folder. And when you say you're getting errors, what kind of errors do you mean, my friend? Let us know. So we want to be 7,000 feet at POS, and we're then just basically descending to, I think it's 3,000 feet the platform. Yeah, 3,000 feet or 2,700 feet if we're not capturing the glide slope. Normal 3-degree descent, which is lovely. Missed approach is turn on the 238 radial from Joa, which is basically almost straight ahead to 4,000 feet. Turn left and hold at the Mallorca VOR. Okay, let's start that descent now.
Ladies and gentlemen, just from the flight deck again, just to let you know, shortly start descending towards our destination. The cabin crew will soon begin preparing the aircraft cabin.
Under pressure, what's the point in starting the chrono at takeoff? Basically, if you're doing a proper flight, you've got your operational flight plan, which tells you at what time in your flight you should be at particular waypoints, etc., and how much fuel you should have remaining on board, or minimum amount of fuel remaining on board. The purpose is to make sure that, one, you're on time, and well, yeah, basically that's it, to make sure you're on time at the right place at the right time, and you can cross-check that with how much fuel you've got. Make sure you don't have a fuel leak, stuff like that. Paul, no, you're right, not much time to relax, I'm afraid. And those passengers now getting back in those seatbelt signs. No time for alcoholic beverages. And there's the Isle of Mallorca in front of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please fasten your seatbelts as soon as possible. Thank you.
— 10,000 feet and landing lights coming on. A little bit of spoilers to slow us down, although we're still 14 miles and only 2,000 feet to go, so realistically don't need to worry too much about that profile. HD, I'm curious, you know the chrono, I think I've only ever seen it get to 59 minutes then reset. Is that a sim thing, or does it only count to an hour? Because that wouldn't work, would it? If you were doing a flight that lasted more than an hour. It would work for this flight. Alright, so we've got a lovely coded approach in there. Look at that on the navigation display. So things I'm looking for, of course, when we start to arrive is this brand new airport, the scenery, see what it looks like, lighting and the area around it as well. We'll take the drone camera out and have a look around, see what that's like. And of course, do the electronics work? Want to know that the electronics are working and that the ILS is coded incorrectly. Daniel, we're actually doing 2-4 right. In the real world we should be doing 2-4 left, but I couldn't be bothered to change the Simbrief flight plan. Do you know what? The autopilot's open descent mode worked a treat there. 7,000 feet, 6 miles to go. Oh, HD, do you know what? Next flight we're going to have to check that, because I'm almost certain it only goes to an hour. As I said, that might just be a coding issue. Okay, let's start slowing this aircraft down. We'll enter the approach phase. And we're already in managed speed, so that's fine. Start preparing the cabin for arrival.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Well, let's start that descent down to 3,000 feet. HD, that's a fair point. Okay, let's get the terrain radar on. I don't want to fly into one of these hillsides to the right of me. Can we start this descent, please? There we go. We've got thunder again. Daniel, they are from self-loading cargo. The voices.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please make sure you are seated with your belts fastened and your trays in the upright position. Any items should be safely stored, and remember to turn off all electronic devices until after landing. Thank you.
HD, you are quite right, of course. Why would I ever doubt you? Whoa, the lightning, the lightning, the lightning. When was the last time you flew into Palma then, HD? Did you know that, or have you got the charts up? That was bright. Where's this lightning coming from, guys? Is it just me? Have I got some strange lightning? Surely the mud can't have affected the weather. I'm just going to check, actually, that we are on live weather, aren't we? Yeah, live weather. How strange. We had the issue a while back, didn't we? When yeah, we had the issue a while back when it was thunderstorms everywhere. Thunderstorms absolutely everywhere. I thought that had been fixed. We've not had any updates, so how strange. J-Hog, you've got my direct line. You don't need the Discord server. Climo, is it not just me then? Is this a live weather issue? It's not, because that's a serious question. We want to make sure that the scenery that we've got is not just being, not just messed around with the live weather. That would be terrible. So if anyone else is in the simulator now and you're not doing anything, get yourself to, well, either Barcelona or to Palma, and let me know what happens. Either way, J-Hog, my phone's broke, so you're screwed on both accounts. I can't turn my screen on. So Sam C, when did you last load it in, mate? Okay, we're below the glide slope now. Turn on the APPR. Capturing the localizer now. Flaps 1. Sam C, you're going to load back up. Good, good. Let me know what happens. "17 miles out." This is a really nice long approach. He does HD, but he's in lockdown and can't do anything about it. I don't think travelling over for tips on flight sim is considered an essential journey, is it? No, it's still extending both slats and flaps. An iPhone? Oh my god, no. Can't remember the last time I used an iPhone. The problem with iPhone is nothing's compatible with it unless you fork out God knows how many hundreds of pounds to Apple. Glide slope alive, and we should be capturing that in a moment. Lock green. And turn that de-icing back off now. Nice long runway, so we shouldn't need any auto brakes. At least that lightning now seems to have stopped, doesn't it? It just seemed to be somewhere behind us. Normally I would have flaps 2 on by the time we were on the glide slope, but we are very far out as we captured it quite a way out, so a little slow with that. Oh, there's an echo in here. Tracking that glide slope nicely, on the localizer nicely as well. I'm looking forward to seeing the airport, guys, when we get there. There are a couple of obstacles as well in the way here. Not that you should hit them if you're on the localizer, but there's about 4 miles away, there's a nice little hillside at about 1100 feet. I think we can see that actually. Are we all ready to see what it looks like then? Kevin, have you got it, mate? Have you been and purchased it? If anyone wants to go find out more information about it and of course buy it, the link is in the video description to this. That is a 47 knot headwind. That wasn't in the METAR either, was it? That should drop by the time we get there. What were the winds? 230 at 6. So hopefully we should lose about 40 knots in the next 3,000 feet. Joel, good evening. Thanks for joining, my friend. Flaps 2, radio altimeter alive. So I'll put the landing gear down in a bit, followed by ground spoilers and the nose wheel lights, etc. Let's have a quick look outside. Yeah, we'll definitely take the drone out and have a look. Look at that. You can see the rain falling over there, and that's just another thing I love about the sim. I know that if I flew over there, that it would be raining. I mean, it's awesome. These time-lapse videos that you see, it's absolutely something else. Missed approach altitude is 4,000 feet. Six miles out now. Landing gear coming down. Ground spoilers are unarmed. Flaps 2. Joe, I don't know if we'll have time for another leg. I want to. It depends how we're feeling, how much time we spend looking around. We may just go and do another leg. We might just blast it back up to Barcelona, breaking every rule in the HD rulebook on the way. See if we can land in that weather. See if it's still there. That's blowing around a bit. That's still a 41 knot headwind. Why is it not dropping off? Flaps full. Fly back to the thunderstorm. Yeah, it is very tempting, just to see what happens. It would really give this new custom fly-by-wire build a workout. Whoa, hello. You guys see that? I think if you pulled me up on these flights HD, you'd have RSI by the time you'd finished typing. HD, I read that wrong for a moment. Okay, so let's disengage the autopilot and see how we get on with the fly-by-wire experimental custom build. There's a thin layer of cloud between us and the runway. That wind is starting to drop a little bit. Let's watch that descent rate as well. That dropped slightly, a little bit too much. So I'm just going to minimize and disappear the chat for a moment so I can concentrate on what's going on in front of me. It's bouncing around. Don't know if you guys can sense that in the stream. It really is bouncing. Even though the winds are dropping now, there might be some gusts coming off the coast. That now just seems to have dropped. I don't know if there was a level of wind above us that was blowing around. This seems as well to be very nice. The custom fly-by-wire experimental build as well, remember guys? Might have to use this more often, I think.
Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
And reversers are on. Do you know what guys? No word of a lie. That's obviously straight on the centre line, so HD will be happy with that. But that was much easier to control than the default A320, even the A320NX.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The default
welcome
one.
to Palma de Mallorca. The Local time is 15:47.
Oh wow, this
Unfortunately,
looks
the
great.
temperature is currently a very cold 0 degrees Celsius, or 32 Fahrenheit, so if you
Anyone
are
that's
traffic
new
on
to the
board,
stream,
you might
it is
want
not
to
0
put it on
degrees
before
here.
exiting
It
the
is
aircraft.
not the airport that's giving that
Please
dove
remain
information.
seated until the
That is
aircraft
self-loading
arrives at the
cargo.
gate. You are reminded
I am
to keep
aware
all
that we've still got
electronic
flaps,
devices switched off until you
spoilers,
have entered
and
the
lights are
airport
still
terminal.
on.
Thank
But I
you
just want to
for
get to
flying
the
Iberia Express.
taxiway. Oh, look at the markings. That makes it really, really nice. Let's just hold there. The reason I'm doing so is I know it's going to be right, but I'm just matching these up with where we are, making sure everything looks correct. So let's come out. There we are. So that's Whiskey 5, which is Whiskey 5 is there. Okay, I know where we are now. So this is taxiway Delta then, isn't it? What do we think, guys, so far? As I say, we'll take that drone out in a minute and have a look around. Is she looking rather nice? If anyone wants to get this version of the fly-by-wire that I'm flying, I'll pop the link in. It's on the GitHub version, not the fly-by-wire site. I don't think it's on the fly-by-wire site. I think it's their GitHub. Parking stand 8. Oh, I'm going to be coming here a lot more. Wow. Okay, so my spoiler's still out. Let's get those down. Nick, I've no idea if it's on the new installer. It could be, to be honest with you. I've not got the new installer, so I'm afraid I can't answer that question. Parking brake. I should have turned the APU on though, shouldn't I? Oh, look at that. Wow, look at that, guys. We've even got the coordinates on there. Tell you what, so let's go down and check those. Oh, so I've got a little bit of a frame rate hit. Nothing, I think that's just as I'm scrolling around. So, GPS, how accurate is this then? 3933. 32.9, so that's bloody close. And East 2436. East 243.5. I'll take that. I will definitely take that. That is amazing. I love having that on there. I didn't even start the APU. I just put the master switch on. Okay. Off you get. Passengers. And let's just get a jetway over there. And then whilst they're messing around with that, we're going to take the drone cam out for a bit of a spin. Jetway.
Palma ground Airbus Alpha Sierra X-ray tree 20. Could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Airbus Alpha Sierra X-ray tree
There it
20.
is.
The jetway is going to be connected.
Oh, apparently external power is available. Well, we'll connect that. And then we can shut down those engines. Let's turn some lights off as well, shall we? Oh, that's the logbook. HD, you couldn't wait to get that little griping, could you? I was rather speedy on the approach to the stand, but it's a bit more difficult to judge when you're in the third person view. Okay, so let's have a look then. Ooh. Should we go for a spin? Oh wow! Let me just speed up the drone cam so we can have a look. It has been. Do you know what? I think I was about 4 years old the last time I came here. Do you know what I will do? I'll also set this to night in a moment. Jet 2 holidays with 22 kilograms of baggage included. Aeropuerto de Palma de Mallorca. Lots of Wizz Airs there. That is my statics, by the way, guys. I turned those on just for this flight, so they are not part of the scenery, which is a good thing because you don't want static aircraft there if you're on VATSIM or anything like that. So, if anybody knows this airport very, very well, and you want to have a look at anything while I'm here, give us a shout. We'll zoom over to it. Just tell me which taxiways to follow. This is looking great, isn't it? This is looking really, really nice. Is the old Carvel over near the threshold on 24? Which one? 24 left, 24 right? Let me, let's head over there now, HD, and you can tell me which one you were referring to. Military apron near 24 right. Yes, it is. So we would have flown over it. Let's go and have a look. But having a look. Dave, thank you very much, sir. That's amazing. Gav's new phone fund. Do you know, I really can't complain. I must have had the phone now for about 6 years. It's an Huawei P9, and I really want to stick with Huawei, but you don't have the Play Store anymore, do you? They've fallen out with America, Huawei. So here's the military apron over here, I believe. It's looking a little bit bare. Though the hangar itself has been modded up. Can't see anything, HD. Not in terms of aircraft anyway. But the whole airfield looks really nice, doesn't it? And Palma was always one of my favourite destinations to fly to and from. Now even more so. You know, flying Manchester with macro simulations, or Birmingham's macro simulations down here, and you know you're getting something great when you arrive. Even just like all the little road markings as well. I mean, work that's gone into those. Pavel, no, this is not freeware scenery. It's quite important to point that out, actually. This is not freeware scenery. It is payware. Check the video link description for that. So let's see what else we've got over here. Is that Globalia? Is that the freight terminal over there? Oh, these are just hangars, aren't they? I'm just reading off the ground charts. But again, looking very nice. So HD, where's the go-to place when you go here? Where's the custard tarts from? Or don't they do them? The biggest thing for me with any modded airport is just the use of the taxiway signs on the ground, which sounds so simple, but when you're on VATSIM or something like that, it makes a huge difference. Victor, thank you very much for your donation. Yeah, new phone. Oh, I know. If I can get on the new phone, it means that I can answer all the Discord questions straight away without having to fire up the laptop. So if I'm behind on that for the next few days, I apologise, guys, until I've got that sorted. Victor, if you're not on the Discord, please do get yourself on there and make yourself known to me so I can pop you in the VIP room. Same goes to all the contributors and donators to the stream. Shall we have a look at the palms, Kevin, in the middle? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, here we go, look at that. Things have come such a long way, haven't they, in terms of the development of airports. HD, you just took the words out of my mouth. How far have we come? It's almost satellite imagery, isn't it? If we just do this. What I will do then, guys, I'm going to go zoom back down, and then look at that. I wonder if I was going misty, just a little cloud base there. Yeah, just what I'm going to do is I'm going to go zoom back down in a minute, and we'll set it to night mode. We'll have a look. Have a look at the night time lighting. So let's come back down, shall we? Wonderful. I'm just enjoying the view at the minute, guys. There it is. Look at that. Wow. Okay, let me change the weather. Well, not so much the weather, but let's just go and have a look at this in the evening. So, sun is setting. I love that you can do that. How great is that? There we go. Let's leave it there. H&M Infinite Aviation, hello. HD, what's that? There's no precision approach to 6 right due to the massive earth mound in front of the runway. Is that over here? Let's have a look. I'm just looking at the lighting. There it is. Awesome stuff. And of course, you've got to give Azobo some credit as well to enable developers to do this sort of stuff. Look at that picture. The sunset there over on the left. You've got rain, I think. You've got rain clouds there on the right. If you have a look, hopefully you guys can see that. A little bit of rain shining through. So where's this mound of earth on to 6 right? Let's have a look. Might not be able to see it now if I've made that too dark. Oh, there it is. There it is. Look. There you go. That's why you're not going to get a precision approach. There's a mound of earth in the way. That is fantastic. The lights of Palma on the left, Leonard. Yep, quite right. And that's one real live traffic I put in as well there. We're on real live traffic for this flight. Just to populate the skies a little bit. So we've got a flight coming in. Any ideas what this is? For anyone who's on the flight radar? The problem is I don't know how behind the servers are. We can probably... Let me speed up the drone cam a little bit. Drone speed. Let's see if we can catch up to it, shall we? How far out away is that? It's probably on the approach. That'd be quite nice to watch. So what are we thinking, guys? I think this is worth it. Check out the link in the video description to take you right there. But we're definitely going to be doing some more Palma flights. Even the night lighting looks fantastic. Let's just come down to the terminal again now we've come on to night time. Look at that. I can't believe they've got the Jet2 Holiday sign on there. I mean, that is some detail. And did all of you see the, for those of you who got the Macro Simulations Manchester, did all of you see the video that I popped on earlier today? Make sure you go and re-download the new version if you've got one, because one of the updates they brought out a couple of days ago was causing a crash to desktop. HD, that is correct. That is a real live flight. Actual real live flight. Do you know what I can do? So if you guys get your Flight Radar 24 out, something like that, or any other flight trapping app, if I go to traffic, turn on the nameplates, so that's now on, and go back and resume, will that populate up? There you go. So that is a real flight, as is those ones there. Oh yeah, HD, it can. So what's that, Aegean 4012 out in the distance? And who on earth is SWT? SWAT 102. Don't know who that is. The only reason we don't use it HD is because if we're flying on VATSIM, we don't want to conflict live traffic with virtual VATSIM traffic. That's the only reason that it's not there. To be honest with you, I think I could be almost sold on using air traffic more often if you got to use real world liveries. Now obviously, oh there you go, that's the ATC for it, that's Swift 102. Yeah, so as you can see, that's just generic traffic liveries. If I think I could be really sold if someone brings out an AI package that matches it all up. So Roger, did this aircraft land 2 minutes ago? I know there is a delay there, obviously. But I still think that's amazing. It's just a shame that it's come out in the middle of the pandemic when there is so little real life air traffic on, because that would be unbelievable. One of the other great things then here that we've just witnessed is if you are using AI traffic because you're not on VATSIM, obviously, as you've just seen, AI traffic lands, taxis perfectly well at this modded airport. So where's Swift 102 going, guys? Oh my god, I hope he's got a lot of paper to write that down. This is why I don't use the default air traffic control. I'm sure there had to be some simpler instruction to give him. Digital flight deck, that is a very good good question. If you had the liveries mega pack, would it put them in? I don't think it does. I don't think it's good enough to do it yet. H&M, no, if you bought it at 3 PM today, that is absolutely fine. Swift 102 is off to Madrid. Thank you for that. Look at that. He's now turned around, taxi lights on. Yeah, we don't use air traffic enough. It is very immersive. I did use it because when the simulator was first released, VATSIM wasn't working. So yeah, I just populated the world with AI traffic, and I was amazed to. I think the thing that really made me go wow was I did a flight from, I think it was London Heathrow to Cyprus, to Larnaca. Speedbird 628. I could be wrong, but something very similar to that. And I tried to do it. And I was probably about half. I looked on Flight Radar. I thought that's a great flight to do. I'll do that. I did the flight. I touched down in Larnaca, and I was panning around, looking at the scenery and things. And to my amazement, about 20 minutes after I'd landed, the real aircraft arrived with the real world traffic on, with the same call sign as me. I thought that this is unbelievable. So. Roger Moore, do you think the AI pack does populate the correct livery? I mean, that's the thing. It might populate the liveries, but are they the correct liveries? What would be nice is if we saw something like, I think I've already got 10 major ones, European ones in, so if it was a Lufthansa or EasyJet, obviously British Airways, if they were there, would it have the correct liveries? That's something to potentially try. But there we go. Interestingly enough, Aegean 4012 landed on runway, landed on the right-hand runway, not the left-hand runway. I wonder which runway they landed on in real life. Because Swift 102 is going for a left departure, as you can see down here. Anyway, guys, I am sorry. I've spent far too much time admiring this scenery and of course the AI traffic and the wonders of the flight sim as it is. I'm not unfortunately going to make it in time for the return flight, but do not worry, I will be back as soon as possible for another live stream. Sadly it won't be tomorrow daytime because I'm homeschooling again, dear lord. Hats off to all the teachers. So, what do we think? Thumbs up, guys. Do I like the scenery? Is it worth it? It's hard not to be, isn't it? Hard not to be, particularly if this is one of the destinations that you like to fly. And if you're flying from somewhere like the UK, which is where I like to fly from, then it's the perfect flight length, isn't it? It's about 2.5 hours, something like that. It's wonderful. So just before we go, let me just turn this back up. Let's put the sun back in the sky. There we are. Oops, bit too far. Beautiful. Glad we all like it, guys. So do us a favour, show the guys that we've given them a decent review on this. Just hit the like button for the video stream for me. That would be very, very much appreciated. If you're not a subscriber to the channel already, please do hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much to all the subscribers, new and old, and of course all of those that contribute to the stream and of course donate to the stream. Please do get yourself on the Discord server, make yourself known to me, and I'll be glad to chat with you, and of course add you to our VIP room as well. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the short flight this evening, and of course the look around the new look SimFlight Palma de Mallorca scenery. Good night, everyone. Speak to you all soon.